concentration thing, you know. Being able to create your own reality and commit all your thoughts to the reality that you want.
Yeah.
You know, and by concentrating on that, you make it so. So if I say I need to act and function as if this is my 7:30 a.m., then this will be my 7:30 a.m. This is my 7:30 a.m. It's only 7:30 a.m. Hey, Kai, what? No, this is my 7:30 a.m. I mean, the truth is, there will always be objections, and there will always be things pulling at your concentration also.
Yeah.
You know? And as I'm trying to make the crossover from athlete, or the person that just saw themselves as an athlete, to now a businessman and more, I'm realizing now more than ever, I need to be able to pull on those same skill sets that I've developed as a champion, you know, and you're that much more likely to be able to be successful because you have command of them, but you got to use them, you know, and be honest about using them.
Balance, as you know, a bodybuilder and a man who trains and a man who owns businesses, you know, how are you finding, like, during your day now you have emails, company emails, all this coming in. Now, do you find time, do you multitask? Do you focus on one thing at hand, attack it, finish it, then move on to the next?
I'm still sorting that out.
Good for you.
Being real honest with you.
I'll be honest with you, you'll never find balance. You'll do the best you can. At least unless you're a better man than me, but I've tried my best. I have 3 kids, you know, to balance all of that. I think this main struggle in life for anybody interested in success is finding optimal balance. And that's one thing I've always struggled with. So you're always gonna have things come up and pull that focus away. And what I was interested in is, if you've already figured it out, but obviously there's a lot more on your plate right now. And that's a huge undertaking, and being one of the top bodybuilders in the world. So you gotta maintain this level of intensity, this level of training. How is that going? I mean, balancing the training and
There's peaks and valleys. You gotta pick your fights.
yeah,
You know, every day that you come to train is not gonna be a record-setting, you know, deadlift.
yeah,
You know, and I think it's healthy to understand that that's not my job to walk around with that expectation.
yeah,
You know, there are some days when I think your training and your demonstration of these skills of commanding your concentration and things may look extraordinary. Your training intensity to the naked eye across the room may look extraordinary, you know, and then there's those other days when it might not, you know, but understanding that it, you know, it takes more more than one hand to clap,
yeah,
you know. There's a lot more that just goes into building ultimately a successful physique, a successful kingdom, a successful household, a successful business, you know. So we want to just get, in this moment, we want to just act efficiently and try to string along as many days of efficient action together as you possibly can, you know, aiming for the target. We don't have to be perfect,
yeah,
you know. And if you're aiming to do your best, I think that the margin for error, you'll still be surprisingly close to what a common person may see as exceptional, you know.
yeah,
So even though you may fall short of your own larger expectation, because most people aren't performing at their maximum potential,
yeah.
you know.
Not even close.
Not even
people
close.
set the mental boundaries they never pass. They set limits on themselves, which kind
And
of
fall shorter than that.
That's the thing. I mean, if you aim high, you still come short. You're still better than you were before. So my question for you is, you know, you obviously aim, you strive to be the best bodybuilder in the world. Do you do that in every area of life, as a business person, in your personal life? Do you always strive for greatness in everything you do?
I wouldn't say that. I think there's some things that are just what they are.
Yeah.
When I go to the bathroom, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to achieve some stellar output of success there.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking to just perform things with a certain amount of efficiency that's comfortable, you know, for doing that. And then there's those other things in our lives that, for whatever reason, you know, mean more.
Yeah.
They inspire us to think deeper,
Yeah.
to, you know, to want to work harder, you know, to identify more reason to want to aim to be and do more. So I definitely think that I recognize that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's fair to say that I'm one of those people that, you know, want to do exceedingly the best that I can with everything, because I don't think that there's a part of me unconsciously that even believes that to be possible, or even a desire.
Yeah.
It's not a real desire of mine. You know, if I'm going to drink some water, I'm drinking water. You know,
Yeah.
not necessarily am I thinking about, you know, what's the most efficient way to swallow this water to demonstrate my masterful command of the muscles that are allowing me to, you know. And I think you can get wrapped up in that.
So you
If we say
focus on-
everything, I'm not trying to do everything.
Focus on what you're best at, and you put your attention to that.
I don't say what's important to you.
Yes.
You know,
So what is important to you right now?
being successful as I recognize that I have a purpose in this life to aim to do more, to speak to the increase of everyone.
Yeah.
You know, while at the same time understanding my responsibility to be able to achieve my own.
Yeah.
I know that I don't have to take advantage of anyone in order to achieve my goal or my goals. And I think that a natural and inherent part of being a person in this life with all the opportunities that you have available to you are to recognize a path of increase, put myself in it, recognize that each day is an opportunity to work and identify the responsibilities that are mine and working in that capacity and speak to the increase of everyone else. Yeah, I want to be a successful businessman. Yeah, I want to be a successful entertainer. I want to be a successful artist. I'd love to be a tribesman, you know. Socially, I think one of the things that are missing in my community is the presence of the tribesman, you know.
Explain tribesman.
A man that recognizes his responsibility beyond just operating selflessly, you know. Even if you're not a father, you have a contribution to make to a community that speaks to the development of children in your community, which speaks to the future of not only the community but the world at large. I didn't grow up with a father in the house, but because of the contributions made by other men acting as good tribesmen, you know, when I was a kid, I remember seeing the deacons in the church, you know, hold the door open for Sister So-and-so as she came in.
Yeah.
You know, they made a way for Sister Estelle to get home with the bad leg and the elderly people of the church, the deacons came to the church 2 hours before service to turn on the heat in the building so that when the elders arrived, there was heat in the building. You know, they didn't walk into a cold place. There was the same kind of consciousness that would inspire people to want to be active, guardian angels, and just right-thinking people that would want to be conscious, not just acting selflessly.
Honestly, some of the realest stuff I've ever heard as a father. Just don't see that. See there's a lack of male involvement in the community, lack of male leadership towards the youth. I know it's not the hip, politically correct thing to say, but a father has his place. A man has a place in the upbringing of children. And I mean, I've coached youth sports. You know, you kind of become their surrogate. They're lacking that role at home. So, I mean, that's something, if anybody takes home anything from anything we do, is instead of wasting your time, if you have extra time, give back. You could literally change a person's life, set forth in the right direction. I mean, that's huge. Yeah, that's honestly, out of training and everything, that's a tool. You know, that's something we use to better ourselves mentally, spiritually, physically. That's something we use in all areas of life. You set goals, you reach them, you beat them, set new goals. But to actually be able to give back and help a child, I mean, that's something a lot of people watching this can take home. You know, because I think we've all had that person in our life, might not even have known it, that set us in a whole new direction. And you and I could have probably both gone down a completely different path. Instead, we're standing here right now because of that. Maybe one or two guys stepped in and provided that guidance. That's profound.
Still on the rise.
So here's a question. It's actually this guy who's a big fan of yours, Louis, asked me to ask you. Do you see Big Ramy winning the Mr. Olympia?
Can I see him?
Do you see him winning Mr. Olympia?
Can I say? I think honestly, I could see any man winning the Olympia, and I'm gonna tell you why. Being very honest, Mr. Olympia is not. It's not the obvious. The winner of the Mr. Olympia is not just the man that's able to accomplish the obvious, the stuff that needs to be accomplished, and bringing a great dynamic physique to the stage. That's a very small part of it. The man that wins the Olympia is the man that is most capable of marshaling his resources towards the desired end result, winning the Mr. Olympia. There's more. It takes more than being just an awesome physique. We've seen it in 2007 with Victor Martinez and Jay Cutler. We've seen it a number of times, you know, 80 and other controversial situations that we've known of.
Brought back Arnold's comeback.
Point I'm just trying to make is that there's a lot more that has to happen in order to prepare your path towards achieving that goal. And it's not just having a great physique is just a part of it.
Yeah, I can see that. As with anything in life, there's unseen tangibles.
So when you ask somebody, hey, can you see someone winning this person or that person winning the Olympia? I say, absolutely. I can see any man winning the Olympia. Just like I could have seen Lee LeBron win the Olympia. I could have seen Richard Sparrow win the Olympia. Not just for the obvious reason, but because of some of the other untangible things that have become very tangible when you start breaking down what it takes, you know? So if we're asking a question, not looking at the obvious and saying, hey, well, does Cedric McMillan have that quality? Absolutely. Does any number of the notable guys coming in, do they have that? Absolutely. And Big Ramy is no no exception.
I'll tell you what, he's one of the largest individuals I've ever seen in person. By far, yeah. Very large.
As a decorated guy in the upper echelon of the sport, I don't think there's any. If you've seen what's his name? If you've seen Fedorov, Fedorov was huge.
Yeah.
You know, huge. I mean, to see him in person is just like a real monster of a man.
Even in pictures, look at the sheer size. I mean, he's a mess. He's a mess. He's a couple body fat percentage points off. You know, that's what I said. If he can hone in that diet.
That's the obvious stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Absolutely.
only a matter of time. That's not a question of Willie or King. I mean, those things will come. You know, as sure as the first time you got ready for a show, you know, you improved obviously by leaps and bounds from where you started. You know, you were off in the right direction, but you definitely weren't anywhere close, even on your best day, to where ultimately you would evolve to.
Yeah.
You know, as your skill sets improve, your awareness of things, your body, all of those things are just automatically you can expect to improve.
So what years? What is he, 26? He's a young guy. Young individual.